Welcome to the Dice Tower.
Hi, I'm Eric Summerer, and here's what's coming from the Dice Tower this week.
Hey, I'm Tom Vassel, and this is my co-host, Ruby Vassel, and welcome to the Dice Tower News for October 1st, 2012. Today, we have two pieces, I think, of very big news. The first piece doesn't have to do with the Dice Tower itself, but has to do with the Jack Vasel Memorial Fund. The Jack Vasel Memorial Fund was started about a year and a half ago, because 2 years ago, my son Jack Vasel was born, and he bravely lived for 2 months and before he died from meningitis. And the outpouring of help that I got at that point in time was such a wonderful thing, and we wanted to pay it forward, so to speak. And so you have the opportunity. If you go, well, I'm going to put a link in this video where you can click and you can see how you can get involved. We have a big auction that we run every year, starting on November 1st and running to November 15th. It's a 2-week auction, and people put up some of the most amazing things there, and you can help out in 2 ways. One, you can, or 3 ways, or 4 ways. One, you can put things up for auction there, games that you don't want anymore, different things that you can auction off. 2, you can bid on these things. And 3, you can tell everybody you know about it. Tell any game company, they can put up different games. Tell people you know so they can come and bid on the stuff. And then the 4th thing that you can do is click on the link, and there's different ways that you can be hands-on involved with the auction or with the fund in general. Thank you to all those who are involved. The second piece of news that we have is that I am finished. Here in my hands, I have Tom Vassel's Top 100 Games of All Time. I have Melody Vassel's Top 100 Games of All Time. And I have the People's Choice Top 100 Games of All Time. This week, we will be recording and airing the introductory video, and hopefully the first 10, 100 to 90. And then after that, starting next week, we should be airing 20 new games each week, and we'll knock this out before the end of 2012. And you can find out there's some pretty big changes on all 3 lists. Very interesting. I have the data here. Can't share it with you yet, but it's coming soon. In board gaming news, we have a few things that are happening on the Kickstarter front. A few things that I found interesting that went up on Kickstarter recently. Democracy Majority Rules is a game that I previewed earlier, but it's a very fun game of negotiation back and forth. That's on Kickstarter now. Castle Dice, a dice pool collecting game where it has some really neat custom dice, and that's interesting enough for me. The Keep. We've talked about this before, where a guy makes this container that can carry different board games in it. That's back up on Kickstarter. And from Kingdom of Loathing, we have Mr. Card Game. So that's our Kickstarter news. Now on to the interesting news. Days of Wonder has announced that they are releasing a special train set. Now look at these trains here. This can be used with any of the Ticket to Ride games. This is a special Halloween themed set. You see the little pumpkins on the trains. Very interesting. I've not seen this yet in the board game where they have a holiday themed. I mean, I'm guessing this means we'll see a Christmas themed train set, and who knows? I mean, it seems like a silly expansion, but at the same time, I want it. Games Magazine has announced their top 100 games. Not as cool as these top 100, of course, but their top 100 games from the last, I don't really know how they work. It's kind of like the last year, maybe 2 years. And then they announced their Game of the Year, which went to Trajan. They also announced a lot of other things. You can check that out. Vegas Showdown is being reprinted by Wizards of the Coast. That could be bad, could be good. Well, I mean, I guess it's good because the game is coming back in print. Let's just hope that it's of quality. On the Dice Tower Network side of things, Ludology number 41 does their Listener Spectacular number 2, in which they answer a lot of questions. How to Play number 40 from Ryan Sturm tells us how to play Goa. One of the, it's been out, I guess, for like almost 10 years now. On Board Games number 91 interviews Stephen Bonacore. What a surprise! But they also review a couple games, Urbania, Castle of Magic, and several others. Plaid Hat number 63 has an interview with George Rothrack from Playdeck. Playdeck is the company that put Ascension and put Summoner Wars on the iOS. Flip the Table, number 12. If they always review games that are terrible, maybe. And this time they're reviewing Star Wars Galactic Heroes and Ewoks Save the Trees. Just saying that name makes me want to burn it. And the D6 Generation. Their third chair this episode is Eric Johns, and they talk about a company going from pewter to plastic miniatures, what it's like for a company to produce plastic, and they also talk about some digital games. On the review side of things, we have several reviews coming from Ryan this week. He's going to be reviewing Fibber and DuckDuckGo, and then Fibonacci, which is just a fun name to say. And then the Vassel clan will be taking a look at 2 or 3 of the upgrades for Alien Frontiers, the Alien Frontier Upgrade Pack, Alien Frontier Factions, and Alien Frontier Faction Pack number 1. Are you leaving? Oh, okay. We'll also be taking a look at Sakuro, 2-player soccer game, which actually feels like soccer. You'll have to wait and see that one. We'll be taking a look back at Pompeii. Shut the door! We'll be taking a look at Divided Republic, which is a 4-player, or up to 4-player, but basically best of 4-player card-laying game, kind of like 1960 and Twilight Struggle. Tammany Hall, the reprint from Pandasaurus Games. Dice Capades, which has a lot of dice in it, which automatically makes it not a 1, right? Crooks, the card game. The Catan Family Edition. And then from Small Box Games, John Cloudis, Tooth and Nail Factions. So that's all the different things that we have. I'm very excited to have all these things. Don't forget, you can find out about all of our shows at DicetowerNetwork.com. There's a lot of great podcasts there. There's plenty for you to listen to each week. And even if you hate my show, which is fine, there are other shows there that might pique your interest. Then, don't forget the Jack Vasel Memorial Fund. Don't forget you can go to Dicetower.com and support our show, get Dice Towers and dice. And you can go to Dicetowernews.com or GameSaluteNews.com, and there you can find out all the news. I try to post something every day, not just news, but featured blogs and reviews from all over the internet. If you have news, let us know, and we'll put it up there. And Remy Gibson, finally, does a little podcast, less than 10 minutes, every Monday and Wednesday and Friday, and you can listen to that. Well, that's a lot. We don't want to take your time. I got to start recording the top 100 coming soon.
Find all this and more at Dicetower.com. See you soon.
What are you doing? What? Hey!
Shut the door!
That's right. Shut it.